I'll show the whole workflow process here of working on a dotCMS issue, and I'm going to start right from the beginning. Here you can see I'm logged into GitHub. You can see the code. I'm going to move over to issues, and I'm going to actually click assign to you. So these are my issues right now, and I see I got this my cool issue, and I'm going to work on this thing. So you can see here in the URL, it's issue number 16, and we're going to go ahead and work on this. Well, I already have Git checked out over here. You could always see what Git branches you have, doing a Git branch -L. And one of the things I notice that I'm going to need to do is I need to create a branch for me to work in. So what I could do is see, okay, is there a branch on the server? So when I do the Git branch -L, that shows me my local branches, all the ones that I locally know about. But what I might want to do is a -R. And what that shows me is, are there any branches on the remote server, or the Git that's on the server, not my local copy, that match what I'm about to work on? Well, the way that we name these is issue -10, 11. Those are based on the issue number. Well, I'm working on issue 16. I don't see that. So, okay, I know I need to create my branch. If the branch already existed, all I would need to do at this point is check it out. I'll comment on that later because you're going to see where I will check out the branch I'm about to create. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Git branch, and I'm going to name it issue -16, and then a description of what I'm about to do. We'll call this cool issue, as that's the name of the task. Now, if I do a Git branch -L, notice that we have issue 16 cool issue. Great. What I'm going to do now is Git checkout. So if the branch had already existed in the remote repository, all I would have to do is run this checkout now. And I'm going to check out to this issue. Okay, now you can see I'm switched to it. If I do a Git branch again, -L, notice that now my star is by here because this is where I'm currently switched to. This is my current checkout. I'm now going to say git push -u, and I'm going to say here origin. That's the name of the server. That's what we're always going to use. And the name of my branch. Now before I do that, just as a proof of concept, if we go here back in GitHub to the code and we click down here, you don't see the issue 16 because even though I've created the branch, it does not live on the server yet. So I'm going to go ahead and push it to the server. Now, if I refresh this page and I click this down, you can see issue 16 now exists. Okay, very cool. I could even click on this and see my code here. What we're going to do is just add a file to issue 16. So I'm going to say vi myfile.text. And then I'm going to say more text. I'm going to save this file. Now, as you've read in Git, I trust in our documents and their documents, this file is not tracked yet, or what Git calls staged. So I need to do a git add, and I could just directly add my file, or I could just say period, which is going to add all the files. Now what the add does is just get it ready to commit. It hasn't been committed yet. It's not on the server. It's not even locally committed. It's just saying when I do commit, this file needs to get added. In fact, I could do a git status here, and you could see now that this file needs to be committed. So I'm going to do git commit -m. The m lets me pass in a comment, and I'm going to say fixes number 16. And by putting this number 16 in there, and the fixes, it's going to let the server know that this addresses number 16. You always want that number, £, and the issue number, because that's what's going to link it up so that when we look at the issue, we can see what commits were against it and vice versa from the commit of the issue as well. And you can see here, it went ahead and committed all the files I had. I had one file and 3 assertions because I had one line, then a blank, then a line break or a blank line, and then I had a third line, and it created my file. Now, if we go here and we refresh now back on GitHub, my file's not here. Again, trusting you've read through the Git documents, it's committed but only local. So I now need to push my file. If I want to see what I'm about to push, okay, I could say git diff minus name minus status, the server, hit enter, and it shows me, okay, the difference between you and the remote repository is this myfile.txt. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and push my commits. Of course, I could make many more commits here, and then they all push them at once. But I want to take what I've committed locally and put it on the server. So I'm going to do a git push minus u. Again, we use the origin. And then I'm going to say my branch. And actually, in this case, I shouldn't have said jtester, though it's pretty much the same thing. I should have said issue 16 cool issue. But I'm going to go ahead and push this, and it's now committed my file. In fact, now if we go here and we restore, my file is now here. Great. Now if I go look at my issues, I could say the ones assigned to me that are closed. Notice because I said fixes, it actually closed my issue for me. Now, if you say closes, closed, fixes, then when that commit happens, when it gets pushed to the server, it will actually close the issue automatically for you. So if all you're doing is committing, but not actually meaning to close the issue yet, what you should do in that case is not include the word fixes or closes, just do #16 and not fixes or not closes. But that's kind of a cool trick there. So I'm all done. This actually did what I wanted to do. What I'm going to do is go to pull request now, because what I need to do is now let the code review team know, okay, I'm all done. I need you to take a look at my code, and when it's ready, put it into the master. So I switch over to my branch, and I now need to make a pull request. So I'm going to make a pull request here. In fact, it knows that I did something a few minutes ago. I could even click compare here, which is going to show me, hey, this is what you did. Okay, excellent. I'm going to go back to my codes. I'm going to say I need a pull request. I now need to tell the code review team to look at my stuff. So it says you're asking dotCMS to pull one commit into master from here. So the difference between here and where we were in SVN is now you do not commit directly to the master, or in SVN, which was the trunk. You work in your own branch and then make a pull request, and then we look at it, maybe interact with you a bit, and eventually we will then merge the code over. Okay, great. So I'm going to click, okay, I'm in master, I'm from here, and maybe I want to make a discussion, JT, look at what I did. Great. You could click here, you could see what the commits are, you can look here and see what the file changes are. Awesome. And now I say send pull request. At this point, you could see, look what's done. Now don't click merge pull request. This is what the code review team's going to do. So currently that's going to be Jorge and myself, but we'll click merge pull request, and that'll allow us to merge automatically in the UI. But if we don't like something, we'll comment back to you here and interact with you, maybe even reopen the issue and so forth. But that's how you say, I'm done. This is ready to go back to master. You close the issue, and in addition to that, you make the pull request. Now, let's say I'm working in my branch, and it's been a while. I'm going to do a git checkout to jtester here. And I'm actually going to merge this pull request over And I'm like, okay, so this is what I do now. Again, this is the code review team, not for you guys. But I am going to merge this, and just so you see how this works, I'm going here to code, and I look at the master, and now my file.txt is in there. It was committed 7 minutes ago. Now, it really was just merged, but it was committed when I committed it here 7 minutes ago.